Hello folks, I hope you're having a good day. I'll turn the music down a little bit. Hope you're having a good day, hope things are going pretty well. Today will be a more relaxed hobby 40k rant, and that is because I've been going over some of my old memories, because you guys have been sending me in quite a lot of hobby nightmares to do with your worst days of working in the hobby, whether that be for Games Workshop, whether that be for your local gaming store. It's up to you, but you've sent in a lot of them, and it got me thinking, what was my worst day working for Games Workshop? Now, this happened years ago at this point, right? We are talking, bloody hell, I mean, we're getting up to 6-7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. Yeah, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Yeah, around that ballpark is what we're getting to. Around this time when I was working for good old Games Workshop, and a lot of these memories were a bit fuzzy when I went back over them, but I know one particular day got me so hot under the collar because it actually had quite a funny ending in that I met somebody that I would end up dating for quite a while on the train home from this day, which is why I remember nearly everything that went on, because I had that defining weird moment at the end of it, right? It was actually very strange in that we saw each other on the train, and then I went home thinking, I think she liked me, but we never got speaking to each other. And then I'm playing, I think it was Star Wars The Old Republic that night with my friend, with Steady, and my phone went on Tinder, and it was her, and she'd matched with me on Tinder. So she'd gone on Tinder to try and see if I was in the local area, and she'd found me, and it was like, oh, brilliant. Bit stalkery, and that was a red flag for later on, but you know, that is one of the things that defined that day for me, and that's why I can remember quite a lot of what went on during the day, because I was in a bit of a state on that train ride home, I have to say. It was, shall we say, a trying day, and it didn't start off very nicely at all. It started off like a normal Wednesday. You know, I headed into Games Workshop to do my banking, which means I get to the store an hour or two early. I rock up, I do my banking, I get all the cash from the store, count it up, get it to the bank, right? And then they give me a receipt, and they send it over to Games Workshop's accounts, and it's done. And I've got no more cash in my store, right? So I head into the store. I've got my coffee and I'm there ready to go, and I start counting up all the odds and sods that are in the safe in the back. Get all the cash from the till, count all that up as well, and I put it down in the accounts of what we've got. I do a printout from the till of all the cash that we should have in the shop and all of the cash that I have built up, and I'm so used to this going like clockwork, I don't even check to see if the amount that I'm giving to the bank is the same amount that's on the readout, because I've done this 8-9 times now, and they've all been just totally fine, you know what I mean? So I walk in, and I do my banking in there, and they give me a receipt, and I take it away. No problem. Thank you very much. See you later. Go back to my store, sit down, and I think, you know what, I might have some breakfast now. You know, I've done my job. I can sit off a little bit before the store opens, and then I look at the two receipts. And one of them is £20 less than the other one. So my till says I should have £20 more than what I actually gave to the bank. Bit odd, right? So I call HQ, and I say, listen, I just want to let you know that I'm £20 down on my banking, and I don't know why. You know, I don't know where this has gone. They respond in a negative, saying that that's not good enough, and that I need to go and find £20 somewhere. You know, I can't put it in the till myself from my own pocket. One, because I can't really afford it, because I'm not paid very much. And two, it's kind of illegal. You're doctoring accounts at that point. So I, resolve not to do that. So they end up sending around a trainer to the store. Yeah. And it ain't good. He comes over and he knocks on the door, and he's got a very stern look in his face. And I open it. I've still got an hour before I open, you see. I open it. And he comes in, and he says, right, what's going on? You're £20 down, where's the money gone? And I'm like, if I knew that, I'd have it in my hand, Like, I say it really jokingly, like, yeah, well, if I knew that, I'd have it, I don't know. I honestly don't know. We turn this store upside down. He checks the till area and the till, because he won't let me touch it. It's very important. he would not let me touch the till because he was afraid that I would mess something up or that I'd stolen this £20, right? He was afraid that I'd stolen this £20, so if I went near the till, I might try and steal more or something like that. It's really weird. So walking around, because there's still the float is still in there, you see? There's 50 quid always in the till. There's got to be. Every store you ever go into, anywhere, there's 50 quid in the till. It's called the float. It goes from the night before to the night after, right? Anyway, so he thinks I'm going to steal that. So he goes to the till and he makes sure that I can't look there. And I'm looking around the store. I can't find it. I'm getting more and more panicked because this guy's getting more and more irate that I can't find this 20 quid. Now, to me, considering how much this company is worth, I don't know why they're sweating me this much over £20. No idea whatsoever. But I'm going along with it. It is what it is. I'm walking around, and we go into the back, and we go into the safe, and we're looking around the safe and all that, and he ends up calling head office, and he does that really annoying thing where he talks really quietly, so I can't see, I can't hear what he's saying, but he's looking at me every now and again. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm standing right here, do you mind? It's so rude. And he puts the phone down and says, look, mate, this isn't looking very good, is it? And I was like, it's £20. It's £20. Like, who can... I could... If I was honest in that I called you guys, I could have taken £20 out of my own bank account and thrown it in there, and you would have been none the wiser. Right? None the wiser. I chose to be honest and come to you about it. Why would I do that if I've stolen the £20? Okay? Anyway, finally, as he's in the back room, I go to the front of the office and I'm looking around. I'm thinking, do you know what? The one place I haven't checked is the till. So, I very loudly say, hey man, I'm going to check the till. Alright then. So I go over and I check the till. And I move all of the trays out, right? And what do I find scrunched up right at the back? One £10 note and 2 5s. Scrunched up right at the back. So they've fallen out of the tray into the way back of the till. I get them out and I go, look what I found. These really annihilated 3 notes, right? £10, £5, £5. There you go. There's 20 quid. And he goes, I don't want it, put it back in the till. Bit weird that you found it though, that easily, you know. And I'm like, mate, at this point, when we're close to opening, right? And I said, mate, yeah, I'm done with the thinly veiled accusations. I found the money. I'm going to put it in the petty cash, so it bumps up the accounts again. You can leave. I'm going to open my store, please. Right? This is the kind of interaction I'd have with trainers all the time. Okay? Back and forth. Barbing each other back and forth. It wasn't a very nice environment. So I put the money back in the till, slammed it shut, entered it into the accounts. One crisis over. Right? And we haven't even opened the shop yet. It gets worse. This day gets a whole lot worse. Alright? Right. So, the second part of my day is that the trainer, instead of leaving, he sticks around the store all day. Yeah. All day. Lovely. He sticks around and he says he's going to critique my skills at approaching customers, which is every Games Workshop employee's worst nightmare. If any of you are in the comment section, I know you are, and you've worked for Games Workshop, you know what I mean. It's the most awkward thing ever. Your manager or your trainer has you approach customers, and he stands around nearby. So it's so obvious that he's listening to your conversation. Like, really obvious. And it really makes the customer uncomfortable, right? So whilst you're trying to do your spiel, of course, you're not going to get a sale, because this other dude's hovering around, sort of sniffing the collar of the customer. It's not going to work, right? So of course you don't get the sale, and then they ask you, oh, what did you do wrong? I don't know. I had this beardy fucking weirdo with a Games Workshop t-shirt on, sniffing my customers' farts from behind. Maybe that was the issue? Not my style, my approach, you know? Maybe that's what's going on. We did that all day. Yeah. I approached, and the worst thing was, right, I sold quite a lot of models. I was doing quite well at this point, right? So I got this through just being personable and being nice to people. I'm trying to do campaigns and games in the store and do all these other events and things that I'm doing in the store that are pretty good and they're going quite well. So all these dudes and ladies in the store are very used to good old North coming over and just having a chat with them about their hobby and then leaving them to it. and then suggesting a purchase later on. And 9 times out of 10, they'd buy that purchase, and off we go, holding hands together down to the bank to cash my check, right? That's what we do, right? That last bit didn't happen, but you know what I mean. So they're very used to me being very chill, very nice. So when I turn up with my trainer behind me, with one hand in my pocket, doing the gyrating thing, you know what? If you're a veteran of the channel, you know what I mean. The Games Workshop manager gyration. They put one hand in their pocket like a cool dude. They put one foot on like a resting higher up somewhere, like on a stool or something, and they gesticulate with their other arm. Yeah, man, yeah, it's cool, yeah, you know, Warhammer, yeah. Right, they do that, right, it's that kind of a thing. It's awful. Absolutely awful. But it is how you are trained. And if a trainer or somebody from head office catches you approaching customers not like this, you'll be getting told off. Notes will be taken. So for most of the rest of the day, I am there doing the gyrating thing, going red in the face, absolutely stressed out my mind, and my customers buy nothing. It is the first day at Games Workshop where I don't sell a single model. Not one. Okay? So my trainer is pissed. And he ends up saying to me, around 3 o'clock, I'm going to go and make some reports, but we'll be in contact towards the end of the week. So I think, great, I've just lost my job to your own shitty training skills. Brilliant. Because the way you train managers to get results doesn't work. The way I was doing it works, but you wouldn't like that, so I wasn't able to do it. The word's rock in a hard place, you know? Come up. So he leaves. He leaves. And finally I have my lunch. I have my lunch at about 3 o'clock because he's been there all day and, you know, I've not been able to take my lunch. So I'm starving, I kick everybody out. And I'm sitting there at the till, working out how I'm going to do my next banking and make sure that everything's fine. I go over my my procedure to make sure that next time, you know, there's no margin for error. And then I get a knock at the window. And of those of you who know my window cleaner story, this is the day it happens. Yeah. This is the window cleaner day. For ages, I was thinking, when did that happen? And it just clicked to me over the weekend. I was like, hang on, no, it happened on that day. It happened on literally that Wednesday. So this guy of African persuasion knocks on the door. I'm like, all right, mate, he's got a bucket in his hand. And I open the door. He says, I'm going to clean your windows. I say, no, you're not. I clean my own windows. We've said this. We've gone over this before. I clean my own windows. See you later. I close the door. I go in the back to get my bag and get other things ready to go for lunch because there's a nice Chinese place down the road. And you know what? I've had such a stressful day. I think I've earned a cheapo Chinese lunch. It's like a little tub that you get for like $5. It's nice, really nice. I was like, okay, cool. I don't normally eat like that on a day-to-day basis, but sometimes life gets to you to the point where you know, do you know what? I'm going to be £5 more in the hole, but fuck it. I've had a really bad day, so I'm going to have this, and it might set me up for the rest of the day to be more energetic and more happy, right? I'm going to go do it. As I walk out, he walks back in, right? I found my bag, found everything, I walk back out, and he walks back in. Happy that he's done a very good job on my windows. You know, I was literally gone for 5 minutes. I walk back out, he's there on the windows, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying you. Well, you need to pay me. No, I don't need to pay you. I told you not to clean my fucking windows. I said, don't clean my windows. What part of don't clean my windows makes you want to clean my windows? I'm not paying you for a job I didn't ask you to do. Right? And he starts saying things like, oh, well, normally when I do a job, I get paid. Yeah, when somebody asks you to do the job, yeah, I didn't. I asked you to not do the job. Okay? You've made a mess of my windows. I clean them better than you. Okay? At this point, he starts getting mad, starts threatening me. He's going to get the boys round, get the money out of me. And in the end, I called head office. I was like, look, this guy will not leave. What do I do? Do you know what they said? How much is it? I said, £20. They said, just pay him. So that £20 I put in the till, right, that I found, I then get out and I give to this motherfucker. And he leaves. He leaves like his little victory for himself. But I said to him, don't come back in the store ever again. You're done. Next time I see you outside trying to clean my windows, I will call the police. It's private property. I don't want you touching the windows. You're not very good at it. Piss off, right? So we had this running argument outside, and outside we're gesticulating at each other. I tell him to fuck off and get in the sea, right? So now finally I lock up and I go for my lunch. Yeah, we're now halfway through the day. It gets worse. It gets worse. So I come back at 3:30 with my Chinese, and I eat it in the back. I rush it because I need to let people back in because they want to come in and finish their games. And this is one of the evenings where we're actually open till about, I'd say about 8 o'clock. You know, something like that. About 8. And I'm getting ready. Everyone's coming in. Everybody's happy as Larry. Everyone's having fun. And one lad comes in called James. Now, James's mother, shall we say, bit of a MILF. If you guys know what obviously you will know what that means. You're either millennials or older, or perhaps a little bit younger, but you should still know what a MILF is. If you don't know what a MILF is, lads, just ask your mother. She'll know. So they come in, and I'll call her Sally. I don't know. I can't remember what her name was. She comes in and she's flitting her raven hair around and she's doing all that sort of shit, and she leaves him there. Now, she normally leaves him there for a few hours, but I don't mind because James is a diamond of a little lad. He's really cool, gets involved, plays games. He likes Dark Eldar, which is kind of weird for a kid, but it's fine. You know, comes in, plays some games, and he has some fun. He hasn't got his army on him today, and I notice he's looking very, very, very pale. And I'm not quite sure he should be in my shop. Because, you know, his mother's just left him. She goes to the gym, she does all of her things, and he's in there for like 3 or 4, 5 hours at a time. On his own. He's only about 8, you know? Anyway, I'm doing separate things, and I notice James standing in the corner of the store. Not doing very much. I walk over, and there is a massive, massive puddle of vomit on the floor in the corner of the room. Not great, alright? So I go and get him a glass of water, and I say, hey man, no problem, don't be embarrassed about that, come over here, sit with me. And so I sit him in the corner with one of the white dwarfs, say, look, you have that, free, it's yours to keep, you have that, you have a little read, okay? No problem at all. And I walk over and I clean up the sick. I have not got a very strong stomach, alright? So, embarrassingly, I'm sitting there dry heaving, trying to keep my Chinese down as I'm doing this sick. I'm literally like mopping it up, going, and all of the customers are just laughing at me, as they should, you know what I mean? And finally, I get it done. I get all this stuff and I put it in the bin, and I start cleaning the carpet with, like, you know, chemicals, all sorts, doing all that sort of shit. Anyway, his mum comes back in to find me with my marigolds on, you know, as you do. And I'm walking around with my little spray, and I'm walking back around to the counter to put all the stuff away. And I explained to her, she says, oh, what's happened? And I explained to her, oh, James was a little bit ill when he came in, so I cleaned it up, I've given him a glass of water, he can keep that magazine, no problem. And she goes very angry with me, and says, why did you give him any water? I said, well, he was ill. It's to settle down his stomach. And she said, no, you shouldn't do that. You're a stranger and it could have anything in it. I don't want him learning things like that. And I was just like, hang on. This child was deathly pale when he came in. You must have known he was ill, so you left him here with me, and I've done the best I can for him, and your response is to chew me out for it? Sorry, no, I'm not accepting that, right? You know, he's a lovely lad. He was just a bit ill, and he's sorted. I can assure you, there's nothing in the water, right? You know, Jesus, like, calm down, right? She called HQ, as you do, right? She called HQ, and of course, HQ sided with the angry mother. I was very livid, But I went along with it and apologised, as I didn't want to lose my job, because it's quite serious at this point, you know what I mean? You're giving a child substances, even if it is water, and if the parent's not happy with that, they're the ones who are in the right, not you. So I learnt a valuable lesson, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I am done helping. If you come to my store, you're not using my toilet, and you're not getting any drinks, and you're not getting any food at all. I'm done. Finito. I'm not going to do anything like that anymore. Not that I did very often, but you know. So I was kind of like, yeah, a bit pissed, shall we say, at this point. Having the phone passed over to me by this angry mother, and then having HQ just say, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Just apologise and, you know, let him leave. You know, it's fine. And yeah, we straightened it out for you. And I was like, okay, fine. So I said sorry and all that sort of stuff. Gritted my teeth. But I just thought, do you know what? Like, if you put as much effort into spending time with your son on the days that you've got him, because he lived with his dad most of the time, right? If you put as much time into spending time with your son as you did getting me reamed out by fucking Games Workshop HQ, I reckon he'd have been all right today. He'd have been at home, ill, where he's supposed to be, being looked after by you, instead of you pawning him off on me because you wanted to go to the fucking gym and work on your buns, right? Anyway, finally, we are getting towards the end of the day. And I realise one of the big Space Marine box sets is missing from the shelf. I've only got 2, and I've got 1. Usually, Games Workshop don't really give a crap about missing models as long as you log them in the till as missing. This one, though, was a big 200-odd pound box set. A holdover from Christmas that we were still trying to sell. And I tried to think back to the last time I saw it, and it was just before the James situation kicked off. So obviously, during my running around and doing things, my eye being off the ball, trying to take care of this child, some bastard had taken it upon themselves to take that thing from the bottom shelf as everybody was looking the other way and pop it in their bag and walk out. Okay? So I call HQ again and let them know, and they are pissed. They are not happy. Alright? This is like the 4th phone call from my store that day. And they make quite snide remarks about, you know, getting a lot of calls from my store. Alrighty then, you know, it's fine. We never find the box. That's the other thing. We never did find the box. I never found it in the store. I never found it anywhere. It was literally taken from the shelf, put into somebody's bag, and off they went into the night. None of the regulars saw anything happen or knew anything of what had happened. And that day, we did have quite a few, you know, new people in. You know, it was a bank holiday, well, not bank holiday, but it was half term. So there were people coming in and out. And to me, it was just like, yeah, it was one of those, the cherry on top of a bad day. But the cherry on top's coming up next. You see, when I try to lock the door for the night, on my way out of the store, you can pretty much guess what's going to happen here. My key breaks in the fucking lock. And I punched the sign next to my shop, not my own sign. It's like another sign. That nobody saw me do it, you know. But I just punched the shop, another sign, in frustration. And I sprained my wrist. So I'm just like, ah! You know, that kind of thing. And the sprained wrist is what jogged all of this for me. Because I remember playing Star Wars The Old Republic when I got home with my right hand, and it was really, really sore and kind of swollen, but I was still carrying on, and that's when the Tinder thing happened. So I was like, that's what jogged it all back again. So I hit this sign, and oh! So I've got a locked door that I can't open anymore, the key's broken off in the lock, and I've got tears on my eyes because of this sprained wrist. So I get my phone, and I make yet another call to head office, and by God are they sick of me by now. And I try to get a locksmith out there to get the key out of the door, only to find out the lock itself by the locksmith is ancient and should have been replaced about 10 years ago. Yeah. I call HQ to tell them the store is now locked, and that they need to get a guy out to replace the lock in the morning, and they tell me it works fine, and that it was, and I quote, human error, much like everything else that had happened that day that I'd called for. So they say. before putting the phone down on me. What a lovely way to talk to your superiors, you know? How nice is that? So at this point, I'm ready to throw my phone into the window of the Games Workshop and just leave and never come back. I stalk my way to my train station, and of course, haha, my train is cancelled. And I don't get home till about 9:30 p.m. that night. Wonderful stuff, right? Excellent stuff. And that is the worst day ever of working for Games Workshop. Nothing spectacular went wrong. It just seemed that there were things throughout the day that just didn't leave me alone. It just absolutely, like a grinding, horrid time. And this is one of the days, it wasn't the day, but it was one of the days where I started to seriously think, yeah, this ain't for me. I love this hobby. I love certain people in the company, right? I love working for the company as a thing, but I can't do this. I'm hardly paying my rent. I'm hardly making enough money to cover my own food and to live. So why am I doing this? As I said before, one of the main reasons I didn't cover the £20 in the till without telling anybody is because I couldn't fucking afford it. Right? Literally. Right? The fiver I got to go and spend on that Chinese is a change I had from another day that I found in my wallet. I was like, oh, there's a fiver here. Brilliant, right? Again, I didn't have the money to just cover this and not lose it. So, again, it's bonkers when you think back to it. Now that I'm working a job that I like, you know, that I'm working, you know, in private tutoring, and being a private teacher, teaching seminars, amending essays, books, things like that, editing, YouTube, all of that stuff means, you know, I'm earning okay. I'm not earning a lot, but I'm certainly, I will never be in that position again. Do you know what I mean? Where I can be taken advantage of by dickheads like that, who pay me nothing, and all they do is stress me out, and get on my back, and annoy the shit out of me. No. And I know you guys like me talking about my time at Games Workshop, which is why I decided to do another video on it. But again, I think this will be my last one. Because, in terms of what it was actually like working for the company, do you know what I mean? I think this might be my last one, because I'm out of it. Like, this happened so long ago, and now I find the humour in it now. I look at it now and I just laugh. I really do. I really do find it funny. Like, the things that used to go on. But this might be my last one where I'm like, yeah, what's it like working Games Workshop by Northern Exile? This might be my last one. I think I'm done. I think I've been done for ages, you know? If I have a funny story, I'll tell it. Or if I have, like, if somebody says to me, like, you know, can you give us a random anecdote from a bad customer that you had? Yeah, I'll do that. But, you know, these ones where, what's it actually like working at Games Workshop on a bad day? Well, here you go. This is what it's like. This is what it's like. And most managers, well, no, I'm not going to say most, every manager who watches this and hears about things that went on will know, yeah, I've had days like that. All of them will have had days like this. You know? But you're just done. You're just absolutely done, and you don't want to do it anymore. So, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I will be back for some more Hobby Nightmares tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Bye now. Shall we watch the hell bomb go off? Yeah, we'll watch the hell bomb go off. No, yeah, we'll watch it. We'll watch it. Sorry, I just noticed that the hell bomb was going to go off. Any minute now. Hey! There we go. Right, love you a long time. I'll see you later. Have a good one.